you, Boitebo, for that warm welcome, and it's good to see everyone here. I think in all my time at Genesis, I've never seen so many people in this space, so it feels interesting, intimidating. I'm used to crowds. Seeing a crowd in this context is not in my experience. So to begin with, of course, I'd love to say congratulations to you, Stefan. I think this is an amazing achievement. 20 years is, a wonderful time for somebody who started a company. We all know the dire statistics about South African entrepreneurship, but I think once you made it past the 20-year mark, you're here to stay. We don't have to worry about you. When I joined Genesis, of course, Stefan was here. Richard was the partner in the practice that I worked in, the banking practice. James was the partner in competition, and Paul Zille joined as the partner in business and development. And that was the full leadership team at that time. And there were about 20, no, not 20, maybe 30 economists at Genesis. So this has been a period of phenomenal growth. I've watched it from a distance over the past 10 years, and it's been very impressive. So congratulations on that. My journey at Genesis began when I was an MBA student at Oxford, and I was pondering my options after considering my MBA. This was in 2005, which feels like a very long time ago. And Genesis was recommended to me as somebody said, something that would just be up your alley. And so I reached out. I had known of Genesis partially when I was from Anglo Gold Ashanti days, but I didn't know it that well. So I reached out, went through the interview process, which was quite a thing. I remember during one of the interviews, there were many rounds. I don't know if they still do that. many rounds. And one of the rounds was on a Saturday afternoon. And I had to do this online test and send it back. And of course the dynamics being overseas, then also had to do a phone interview, so not having that, interaction face to face was a bit daunting. I got accepted, and they sent a beautiful welcoming gift, and I came in 2006. And it was an amazing place to come to. I was in my late 20s. There was a cohort of us around the same age. And it was just, we're great friends. It was a great learning experience. We have some stories which you might know, I don't know, they've survived in the law of the company. But it was really an amazing experience. I think being in the banking practice in particular and working with clients in the real economy, was very different from the paths that many other economists take. Many would go into government, reserve bank, treasury, competition commission, etc. Many would go into banks. But very few, at least at that time, were in consulting in that sense, where you're client-facing, you're dealing with business problems. And I think that has stood me in good stead in terms of an appreciation of business in a way that economists don't always have. And also coming from a different perspective that the traditional macroeconomist also gives you a different perspective. I didn't work in competition when I was here, but I was exposed to it, and it was also quite a natural and a seamless entry into the competition commission when I eventually went there. So I feel like as an economic advisor to the president, Genesis is an important part of my story. It sets me apart, I think, from other economists. It also, embeds me in a community of Genesis alumni. I'm not sure if it's the most active alumni network, but you always know it's there. You have the informal networks at the very least. So that has been wonderful. So it's good to see everyone here. It's good to see that Genesis still plays that role in nurturing young economists, new economists. But I suppose it's also at a stage where there are multiple entry points at different career paths. and different parts of people's careers. I bump into Genesis work, all the time. Last year, just after I had a baby, I was the lead writer for the high-level panel led by President Motlanthe, which was a very consuming process. But one of the studies that was cited in the land reform part was a Genesis audit of land claims, and I just couldn't fathom that this is the kind of work that Genesis does. So it's quite interesting to see it completely in areas that had not been an area of focus when I was here. So it really speaks to the growth and the development of the firm. So once again, congratulations. I hope you have a wonderful evening. For those of you who didn't know, I hope now you know that I'm part of the family, the community, the network, and feel free to reach out. And I'll also feel free to reach out to you when we need additional capacity, sounding boards, etc. So thank you very much and congratulations.